Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are back to riding in LA for a little while. This is a continuation of the video I put up yesterday leaving Union Station and going through Little Tokyo. We are on 2nd Street here and we're starting at Hill Street and we're going through this really cool tunnel. And I love tunnels because graffiti just looks cool, and I'm really impressed by how little traffic there is from cars on this road. This ride is going to take us out to Echo Park, and it's more of a mixed bag. Leaving Union Station, I had bike lanes almost the entire way, but there are moments where the bike lane is going to deteriorate here, and I want to talk about that as it comes up. So I'm gonna let you enjoy the ride a little bit, and we'll get some music going here, and I'll talk to you a little bit more later. So this is where things start to get a little dicey on this ride. The bike lane deteriorates and becomes a turning lane here, and this is where 2nd Street, I suppose, ends, and we go on to Glendale Boulevard. So I'm gonna jump this red here because there's no bike lane. I see that there's no bike lane, so I want to get a jump so that way the people in cars behind me see me and we're not competing for the space, and it just feels safer to do that. And in the process of doing that, I'm finding that there is no conflict. Any cars coming up behind me are changing lanes. Drivers seem to be totally fine with that. LA has this weird thing that I haven't quite wrapped around my head around yet, where there'll be 2 lanes, but sometimes there'll be parking in that lane and sometimes there's not parking. So I'm just speculating, but I wonder if drivers in LA typically have a certain expectation that there'll be an obstruction in the right-hand lane, because a lot of roads seem to be built to have parking just kind of crop up. And my understanding is that you can park some times of day but not other times of day, And in fact, I think it's coming up right here, but I could be wrong. Now, we're just going along, but all these drivers seem used to somebody being in the lane. Oh no, here's that parked car. But the road seems to get wider also. So there's still no bike lane, but we're going along. Now, those of you who watch this channel regularly know I do not like biking on sidewalks. I'm not jumping up here to bike on the sidewalk. I'm jumping up here because I don't know where I'm going. I look at the map here and there, so I'm just stopping for a second, taking a look at my phone, looking at a map, figuring things out, and then I'm going again. And once again, I am jumping that red light because I see that there's no bike lane, and I want to make sure that I don't compete with cars coming off the line or with drivers who see a green light and are accelerating, not expecting somebody to come out into the road. Again, this is for my own safety and the safety of everybody else. I don't think that there are any drivers out there who actually want to hit people with their car. That's my faith in the humanity of people behind the wheel. So that's what we're doing here, and we're just gonna keep going. We are gonna get up to Echo Park right now, and I know I should stay on that bike lane on Glendale Boulevard, but I'm like, oh, a nice park, a beautiful lake. Let me check it out. And I go in and I see that bike sign with the red slash on it. And I now know that that means there's no biking in the park. But when I first saw that, I actually thought it was graffiti. I thought that somebody had painted a red line across the bike thing. But I take it slow in here, and I'm just speeding it up because you don't need to see me taking it super slow there. But when we exit the park, I keep going, and now I'm getting into the neighborhood of Echo Park, and it's the road's just continuing on. There's still no dedicated bike lane, but I'm starting to get my bearings, and I'm gonna keep going here, and I might cut it off a little sooner than I planned because that bridge up there, I believe, is Sunset, and I know that I'm trying to get to a bookstore and cafe on Sunset called Stories, which is an excellent bookstore. I highly recommend going there, especially if you want to take in a poetry reading, which is what I'm going there for on this day. I get a sense from looking at the map and from being on this ride that I've overshot my destination, so I'm just going to weave around a couple of blocks and figure out where Sunset is. But we are now in the neighborhood of Echo Park, and we're gonna go around a couple of blocks. We're gonna try to find that intersection of Sunset and Lemoyne, which is where the place I'm going is. But a bike lane starts back up here, and once again, I'm just really impressed. I'm pleasantly surprised by this experience of riding a bicycle in Los Angeles. I really expected more hostility. I expected some conflicts, and I don't want them. I'd rather have peaceful riding than get into conflicts with drivers on the roads. There are some similar features to riding in Los Angeles as there are in San Diego. For example, bike lanes just seem to end. And, we've gotten used to that. This is a Southern California thing. This is an American thing, it seems. But we do reach our destination here at the corner of Sunset and Lemoyne. And from there, we are going to continue to drive less and ride a bike. Thanks for coming with me.